What if I told you that one of the largest engineering projects in human history wasn't built in China or Egypt, but in Nigeria? Hidden beneath forests and modern streets lies an ancient network of walls and moats so enormous that historians still struggle to explain how it was built centuries ago. Yet today, millions of people have never even heard its name. This is the incredible story of the Benin Moat, one of Africa's greatest forgotten wonders. Long before European explorers arrived on the coast of West Africa, a powerful kingdom was already rising deep within the forests of what is now southern Nigeria. This was the Kingdom of Benin, home to skilled builders, fearless warriors, talented artists, and visionary rulers who transformed a growing settlement into one of Africa's greatest civilizations. As the kingdom expanded, so did its influence. Trade flourished, communities grew, and the rulers understood that protecting their people would require more than brave soldiers alone. They needed something the world had never seen before. So they began creating a defensive system so vast that centuries later, historians would compare it to some of the greatest engineering achievements in human history. But before the walls could rise, a kingdom first had to be built. The rulers of Benin understood that protecting their kingdom would require more than courage. They needed a defense so powerful that invading armies would struggle to reach the city itself. Instead of building walls from stone, they turned to the earth beneath their feet. Thousands of workers began digging enormous trenches by hand, using simple tools made from wood, iron, and determination. The soil removed from the trenches was piled beside them, creating towering earthen walls that made the defenses even stronger. Year after year, generation after generation, the project continued to grow until it surrounded the kingdom with one of the largest defensive earthworks ever created by human hands. For centuries, the true size of the Benin earthworks remained almost impossible to comprehend. The defensive system stretched across an astonishing distance, connecting villages, protecting farmland, and surrounding one of Africa's greatest kingdoms. When all of its sections are measured together, historians estimate that the earthworks extended for thousands of kilometers. The amount of soil moved by hand was so enormous that modern researchers have described it as one of the greatest engineering achievements of the ancient world. Long before modern machines, long before bulldozers, the people of Benin accomplished this using nothing more than human determination, simple tools, and generations of relentless effort. Even today, historians continue to study the Benin earthworks, amazed by the scale of what one African civilization achieved centuries ago. The Benin earthworks were never built to protect an empty land. Behind those massive defenses stood one of Africa's most organized and prosperous kingdoms. At the heart of the kingdom stood Benin City, a place filled with broad streets, carefully planned neighborhoods, magnificent royal palaces, and skilled craftsmen whose work would become famous across the world. Bronze casters created masterpieces that are still admired in museums today. Traders arrived from distant lands, exchanging ivory, pepper, cloth, coral beads, and countless other goods. Under the leadership of the Oba, the kingdom became a center of culture, commerce, and remarkable artistic achievement. It was a civilization built not only on strength, but on knowledge, creativity, and order. For centuries, the Kingdom of Benin grew in strength behind its enormous defenses. But no kingdom remains isolated forever. By the 15th century, European ships began arriving along the West African coast in search of new trade routes and valuable resources. News of Benin's wealth, magnificent artwork, and powerful rulers quickly spread beyond Africa. Merchants, explorers, and foreign visitors described a city unlike anything they had ever expected to find. Its wide streets, impressive royal palace, and remarkable bronze craftsmanship amazed those who entered its gates. The Kingdom of Benin had become one of Africa's greatest powers. Yet, increased contact with the outside world would slowly reshape its future in ways no one could have imagined. As the centuries passed, the Kingdom of Benin faced increasing pressure from a rapidly changing world. Trade routes shifted, foreign influence grew stronger, political tensions continued to rise. By the end of the 19th century, the kingdom faced one of the greatest challenges in its long history. The events that followed brought an end to centuries of royal rule and transformed Benin forever. Its magnificent palace was left behind. Its priceless artworks were scattered across the world. And the great defensive earthworks that had once protected one of Africa's greatest civilizations slowly disappeared beneath forests, farms, and expanding communities. Yet, even though much of the kingdom changed, its legacy never truly vanished. Although centuries have passed since the Kingdom of Benin reached its greatest height, its remarkable achievements have never been completely forgotten.
Confirmed.
Today, archaeologists, historians, and local communities continue working to preserve what remains of the Benin Earthworks. Every surviving section reminds the world that Africa's history is filled with extraordinary civilizations whose stories deserve to be remembered. The Benin Moat is more than an ancient defense. It is a symbol of human determination, engineering, and the creativity of a people who built something far beyond what many believed was possible. Hidden beneath forests and modern communities, this forgotten wonder continues to inspire everyone who discovers its story. History is often remembered through monuments that stand proudly above the ground. But some of humanity's greatest achievements remain hidden beneath forests, forgotten landscapes, and the passing of time. The Benin Earthworks remind us that greatness is not measured by how famous a civilization becomes, but by what its people were able to accomplish. Long before modern machines, long before today's technology, the people of the Kingdom of Benin reshaped the land with their own hands, creating one of the greatest engineering achievements in human history. Today, the surviving earthworks continue to tell a story of vision, determination, and extraordinary human achievement. Perhaps the greatest mystery is not how they built it, but why so few people know about it. This is Inside Our World, where the forgotten stories of our planet are brought back to life.